So the UX came out in 2019 as the UX250 and the hybrid UX250H. And today they announced the UX300H. What does that mean? It means they've upped the game on the power. But then they also have the UX300E in Europe and Australia, which is a pure BEV. How come that does not come into America? Well, let's look into what is the UX300H. Did they just go and take the Prius, the brand new Prius powertrain, and just shoved it into the UX and call it a day? Let's get to it. So the UX came out in 2019, and the first year sales actually sold about 16,000 units in the United States, and it wasn't too bad. And then it peaked in 2021 with about 17,500 vehicles, and then it started to slump. Why is that? And then they also started to remove the gas only version and only have the hybrid. And then this year, now they have announced the 2025 UX300H, and they're going to probably sell this in 2024. So what does that mean? Well, I think what they've done is they took the 5th generation hybrid system from the Prius, put it into the UX, and called it a day. So now let's look into what they offered in the UX and see, does it actually make any sense? And is it something that is a bit better than the current UX? Because in some ways, some people feel that the current UX is a little bit underpowered. Hopefully, this now UX300H is a little bit more powerful, efficient, and be able to hit that point and be able to sell back at 17,000 units per year. Now let's get to it and look at the press release of the UX300H. Alright, so let's look into the 2025 UX300H. So just looking at it, you probably won't even notice that it is the UX300H, other than this badge, because it looks exactly the same as the current generation. They didn't even spend time to change the Lexus logo to spell out the word Lexus. They only just really changed that badge and just called it a day. So let's look into what it says here. So it says that it's the first Lexus that will get the 5th generation hybrid system, and that is up to 196 horsepower. So the current generation gets 181. So you're getting about 15 more horsepower. So does that really make that big of a difference? Well, I think if we look at the numbers, it will, but I'm not sure if it's going to be like day or night difference. So when we look at this, they also said that they're using a lithium ion battery instead of the nickel metal hydrate that they're using today. And meaning they're actually now shifting over to the newer batteries. And when we look into here, they're saying that they're getting the new technology, safety system, and copper crest will be added to the exterior options. So my gut feel here, just from the looks at it, cadmium orange, goodbye. So the 2025 UX will be offered as a hybrid powertrain only in the United States. So we know that in Europe and Australia, they do have the UX300E, which is the pure EV, but I don't know why they don't do this in the United States. Maybe the car is just too small for people in America, and they really just want this to be a hybrid only. So they're saying right now pricing for the 2025 UX300H will be announced later in the new year, and the vehicle will be on sale shortly after. So it will be sold in 2024 as a 2025 model year vehicle. So the 5th generation hybrid system. So this is really like exactly like the Prius. And when you look at the numbers, 196 horsepower, that is exactly the same as the Prius. So not sure why they actually don't have like the UX350H or 400H, which like H plus, which actually is the plug-in hybrid. That may be actually not a bad thing to do. And that will give it probably 220 horsepower, which I think is more than enough. Then you look at it, they're saying that it is a 2-liter gas engine, which is similar to the one that we have today, but it has 2 motor generators through the system. So it's an ECVT, and that you can see that it says here the front is 83 kilowatts and the rear is 30 kilowatts. So with the lithium ion battery, the engine and all that, it gets 196 horsepower. I would really hope that they actually like have a more powerful front or a more powerful rear, like a 40 kilowatt, like the NX350H, and that will actually give it a little bit more power and make it really different from the Prius. Right now, they've done really is they actually pulled the guts of the Prius and just shoved it into the current generation UX and call it a day and made it UX300H. Another change is they're actually using shift by wire, so the same shifter from the toolbox that they got, the parts bin that they got in the NX, they're going to just shift it over to the UX and use it. So from there, we can see that they're just using whatever they have to create a new model. They needed a refresh so that it can actually get a little bit more sales. So when you look at this, the UXH improved estimate 0 to 60 is 7.9 seconds. That's the all-wheel drive, and it's an 8-second for the front-wheel drive. So when you compare that to the Prius, the same setup in the Prius gets 7.1 seconds. So the UX will not win the race with the Prius. The Prius is a lighter car, and definitely it will actually go faster. But when you compare it to the current generation UX 250H, it's actually zero point 0.5 seconds. So it's a half a second faster than the current generation, because the current generation is 8.4 seconds for the front wheel drive and it's 8.6 seconds for the all wheel drive. So when you look at this, the all wheel drive is actually faster than the front wheel drive, whereas the fourth generation hybrid system, it's the other way around. It's actually 0.7 seconds faster on the all wheel drive and 0.4 seconds faster in the front wheel drive. So same thing, it has an E4, so electronic all-wheel drive system, so it's not like a mechanical one, but I think it's good enough for the owners of the UX. So when you compare the efficiency, the combined estimator right now on the front wheel drive is 43 miles per gallon, and the all-wheel drive is 41. And when you compare that to today's 250H, it is 42 combined on the front wheel drive. So it's doing 1 mpg better with 15 more horsepower and 0.4 seconds faster. And then comparing that with the all wheel drive currently is about 38 or 39 depending on what you have and the tires. And then when you look at here, it's 41. So we're getting about 2 to 3 mpgs better and also getting 0.6 seconds faster for the all-wheel drive. So definitely an improvement, but I don't know if it's an improvement enough to say that, oh, I need to go get a new UX. Follow me on Instagram at LSFT Videos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX450 Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can also reach out to me via direct messaging if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, and share it with your friends. This definitely will help me with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, which is greatly appreciated. And now let's continue with the video. So again, when you look at the exterior design and the aerodynamics, they're talking about it, but really it's the same thing as today. So I don't think there's any difference in the UX design. If you've found something, let me know in the comments below, because I don't really see that big of a difference in the current UX versus this 2025 model year. They didn't really spend much effort to make it different. They only changed the guts of it. So let's continue down here. Okay, so talking about the colors. The 2025, the copper crest is available on all models, so you can even get the copper crest on the base. So base and premium exterior color options are the caviar, copper crest, obsidian, redline, nori green pearl, Grecian water, cloudburst gray, iranium, and eminent white pearl. So there's a lot of colors that you can get on just the pure base or premium. But the F Sport offers 7 colors. So you have the obsidian roof. So meaning even in the current generation, we have a black roof already, right? But it says here an obsidian monotone execution. So it says it's new. So I don't know what that means. Probably have to look at the pictures and see if I can see the difference. But it does say copper crest, red line, cloudburst gray, iranium, ultra white, ultrasonic blue mica 2.0, and obsidian are available as F Sport colors. So definitely when you look at here, cadmium orange, so long. I'll hopefully see you back in a few more years when something else comes out. But cadmium orange is no longer available on the UX in the 2025 model year as well. Talking about tires, it's run flat tires, 18-inch, which means there is no spare tire. And definitely that's not something that's shocking. Lexus has been doing the same thing for many of the vehicles, and even in the current generation, it's already like that. So there's really no difference there. Okay, so looking at the structure, they didn't really say that they've done more stuff. They did use extensive high intensive steel and all that, but they didn't really say that they've done more. So I don't know if there's an improvement in the ride quality or even the stiffness of the chassis. It doesn't say. I feel that it's going to be the same. It's just purely engine swap here. So even when they talk about this active cornering assist, that's already available since 2019. So that's nothing new here. So looking at here, we see that there's 8 different models, including F Sport Design and F Sport Handling. So F Sport Design is typically you get the design, meaning the spindle grille, any of the F Sport stuff, but there's no extra stuff. There's nothing from a performance standpoint. F Sport Handling, on the other hand, gives you the adaptive variable suspension. And it also says here the F Sport Handling also gets standard power rear doors with kick sensor. So something new compared to the previous generation that they don't have. So here it says 2025. What they've done is they've made new layouts for buttons and also see that the chrome finish ornaments are now new hairline finish added to the F Sport. So good that they actually didn't use like the black plastic, the piano black. So they've actually used some aluminum looking finish, which actually looks much better than that black plastic. They're saying that there is a 12.3-inch multi-information display, and that is standard on all premium and F Sport models, while the 7-inch is standard on the base model. So the multi-information display, good that they've actually now upped that game here, because was a little bit disappointed on the NX that the RAV4 got it, but the NX did not get it upfront. I'm speculating that the refresh of the NX, we will get the same thing, but it's probably a year or two away. All right, so let's continue down here. There is a color head-up display, so there's no difference there. And the infotainment screen. So infotainment screen standard is 8-inch, and that's on the base, premium, and F Sport design models. Only the F Sport handling models get the 12.3-inch screen standard, but I believe if you got the premium or F Sport design, you probably can add a package to get that 12.3-inch screen. All right, so 8-way power adjustable front seats. So really, there's not that big of a difference. The premium has standard heated and ventilated seats, power tilted side moonroof, rain sensing wipers, all the things are standard. So there's not that big of a difference between current generation. So here we do get Lexus interface. I guess it's the same as what they have today because I know that the UX has the Lexus interface, and also 5 USBs, cloud navigation, same thing. So this is all the Lexus interface features. So one thing that they have here is safe exit alert. So you notice that the handles, so you go back, I go back up here, you see the door handle is the traditional door handle. And you can see that they don't have safe exit assist. They actually have safe exit alert. So it will not stop you from opening the door. It can only tell you that there is a car or there's a bicycle or something that's approaching, and it'll beep at you, but you can still open it. So that's the difference between those electronic door handles versus these traditional door handles. They are not able to go and say, nope, I cannot open, because they're really a mechanical device where once you've pulled it, it opens. But it can actually alert you that something is coming. Better than nothing, I would say. So you can see that Lexus hasn't really spent a lot of money here to actually redesign it so that they can get these electric door handles. Some of you may say, don't, because you don't like them. They freeze, right? Well, it is what it is. I think Safe Exit Alert is better than nothing. So continue down here, you can see that these are all the standard Lexus Safety System Plus things, and they also have proactive driving assist. So what do you think about this UX? Do you think they should just really pull the guts out and replace it with the Prius guts and call it a day? I think so. They just pulled all the part spins that they had and they just shoved it in and made it what you think that a UX refresh would be. One thing that you would notice here is they pulled this from the part spin of the NX on RX and TX. And you can see there's a lot of space here because the previous shifter is much bigger. And then this box here was also the touchpad. They just changed the buttons to the heated and ventilated seat buttons. They really didn't spend much money to change this vehicle. The only thing that they really did was change it mechanically and then being able to actually get better horsepower, better efficiency, and called it a day. Let me know in comments below, what do you think? Do you think this is a car worth taking? I would say if it had an extra inch in the back seats, it probably would be a much better vehicle. But for some people who look for small vehicles, and there's only people who sit in the front two seats most of the time, it may be okay. Hopefully that you found that this video was informative, and until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.